Welcome to Writer Talks. I am so excited to talk with you today because my topic is going to be 4 things you should do to absolutely rock your writing. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, and this is Writer Talks. Typically on Monday evenings at 7 Eastern, I interview the winners of our short story contest, and they talk about their stories, their writing process, and such. Well, today I'm solo, but stay tuned for a whole bunch of amazing guests coming soon. However, right now, I am going to talk with you about 4 ways to rock your writing. I am so revved because I just came off a weekend writing retreat, a goddess weekend writing retreat. As you know, my new book is called Boss Up Goddess, and it's coming out this spring. And I'm planning all kinds of programming and other things around the content of the book, which has inspired my other YouTube show that comes on most nights called Boss Up Goddess, where I interview trailblazing women who share their wisdom to help us all live bigger, better, and bolder. Well, in the course of writing and planning and creating all the content around this program, this platform, this mission to empower women through writing, shows, events, retreats, I just let my imagination run wild during my goddess retreat this weekend. And I am like revved beyond words. It was so rejuvenating. And I want to share with you as a writer the 4 things that you can take away from my experience this weekend that just reinforce the importance of doing these things to really tap into your most genius writing zone and maximize your creativity and productivity while you're there. So the first one is retreat. I went on this goddess writing retreat this weekend so that I could really immerse into my imagination and really get this content out of my brain, out of my heart, out of my soul, onto paper, onto screens, so I can share it. But my life, I feel like 2020 has been like on rocket fuel. It's just been going 5,000 miles an hour. And so, in order for me, in order for you as a writer to really focus and get that work done, it's very important to retreat. Now, retreat can mean many things, but most importantly, it means shut out the world. You can go somewhere and do that. I like to go to a hotel room and do that. You can stay home and do that. I mean, the pandemic is still here, so we're staying home too. You can go to a different part of your home, your house, your home. You can go out to, maybe if you have another building on your property, like I know some people who have like a little, not a shed, but like an outer office that's in like above the garage or something like that. You can go to another space. If you're in a place where you feel comfortable going to a coffee shop or something, but retreat physically and emotionally, just unplug. So for me, retreat meant clearing my schedule. First of all, I drew giant lines through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday on my calendar. So there was nothing that would get scheduled on those 3 days. The retreat also meant that I would make no appointments. I would not schedule anything like phone calls or anything else, social events, nothing. I was invited to some things over Zoom and I said no kindly. Um, Retreat meant getting into a frame of mind where I was fiercely protecting that time and space for me. Like I said, I've been going full speed ahead all year and it's all been amazing. It's just that that doesn't allow you to focus. So if you're a writer, and you are because you're watching Writer Talks, and you have a job, you have a hobby, you have a career, you have your family, you have your social life, you have your fitness regimen, whatever else you have, other obligations, a lot of times it's very difficult to sit down and focus and write. So retreat, even if it's just for a day or a weekend, or if you can get away for a week, great. Or even go on sabbatical, that's wonderful. But most people don't have that luxury. So retreat. For me, it means being in a different space and a different mindset. The mindset of the retreat is to leave. Like, I cleared everything and I only allowed my brain space to occupy the territory where I was focusing on my goddess platform. And as a result, everything else was just gone. I was like, no, it was almost like I erected this bubble around my imagination and it was only allowed to work on goddess content. It was awesome. I didn't let anything else come in, and as a result, I had tremendous focus and clarity. Now, I also even didn't do my show Boss Up Goddess until my next show is tomorrow, and I'm going to have an amazing guest, Micah Mater from WGN Chicago, a longtime friend who's amazing. So I cleared my schedule so that my energy could be focused on my brain creating everything I needed. And I needed that physical stamina to make certain that my brain stayed on and popping for extended hours. So, retreat for you, whatever that means. Retreat, you can do it in your own home. And like I said, you can go to a hotel, you can go in your RV if you have one, you can go out to a park, whatever it is, but shut out the silence. I mean, shut out the noise of the world, get still, get silence, and solitude is the best possible way, unless you're on a writing retreat, which awesome, but most of us aren't on a writing retreat right now, so you can just carve out the time yourself. So that's number one, to really rock your writing, carve out some time to retreat, whatever that means for you. Pretty much means be alone with your words and your imagination. And that's where the magic happens, because this weekend was amazing. The next thing is this, something that I've added to my writing routine recently, and it really helps. It's to draw. Who knew, right? We're writers, we use words, but I have found that when I take a pen and whatever the idea is that's coming into my head, and I take paper, and I'm really into some old school paper lately. I have so much paper. I draw out what I'm thinking. I make a diagram. It could be a circle with like spokes with the other ideas exploding from the center idea. I can do like sketches of people or places, or make a square, or it really helps me create a map for my thoughts. It really helps me focus and organize all the information. I remember when my son was in school in elementary, his teacher called it a mind map. So you basically write one idea in the center and then expend out all these lines that bolster the main point. And that helps you have this sort of diagram right in front of you, and it really works. So I've been doing mind maps, and it's really, oh my gosh, it's been helping me so much. I like, away from a desk though, like I said, the retreat idea, shifting spaces, sitting at a different area, sitting in a different room, a different building, a different, a cottage or wherever you are, hotel, and sit in a space where you're just completely focused, and then let these ideas pour out and draw. It's amazing. Just try it. It's really, you can use all kinds of shapes, different colored pens. I have all kinds of pens of pink, red, green, blue, purple, that really help me identify and like organize the ideas. So my number 2 tip right now to rock your writing is draw. That sounds hilarious, but it's actually been transformative in my writing and creative process of late, the past couple months. I also have this thing that my sister calls big ass paper, and it's those giant pads of paper that like you do a presentation in front of a group or you're writing on the giant pad on the easel. Get one of those. Go to the office supply store, buy one of those giant pads of paper and put it on the floor, the table, whatever, and just draw on it, write on it, like whatever's in your head, write it out. Like, I'm telling you, it will help you organize your thoughts and your ideas when you're writing. And it just is like, instead of this like chaos in your head of all these ideas just jumping around, boom, they're on the page, giant page, tons of space. So there's no, it's like whatever. And then plug this in here like a giant puzzle piece. It's really fun. Okay. Draw. Number 2 tip to rock your writing right now. Number 3 is something you might be resistant to, because I always am resistant to this one, is rest. Rest. First of all, I've been going 10,000 miles an hour. And secondly, after all this brain energy expenditure this weekend, by Sunday evening, I was zonked. I couldn't do anything. I was like, I couldn't work. I couldn't think. I couldn't make another sentence. I literally had drained out all my energy onto the pages and I was done. And I heard my father say, go on the sofa and watch a movie. So I did. And I watched Eat, Pray, Love, and it was a wonderful escape. And I just curled up under a blanket and rested. I didn't have to think. I didn't have to do anything. And it was divine, absolutely divine. But guess what? After that couple hour reprieve, I was able to work for hours and hours into the night, and it was daylight savings time. So, whatever that means to the sleep schedule, I don't really know yet. But anyway, after a short period of rest, I was rejuvenated. And then today I woke up just rocket fuel, writing, working, meeting, creating. So just a little bit of rest. And I don't mean just sleep, I mean resting your brain from work will rejuvenate you to set those creative juices flowing again. So that's tip number 3 to rock your writing right now. Make sure you get some rest. And of course, sleep on a daily or nightly basis is very important. Getting enough sleep is really, really important. So rest. Okay, number 4, here it is. I love this one. That was the funnest revelation of the whole weekend. Number 4 tip to rock your writing is break the rules. Okay, so there's all these rules about if you're writing memoir, short story, poetry, fiction, romance, whatever you're writing, there's all these rules, right? Well, I broke all the rules this weekend. I broke the writing rules because what was surging up out of my soul was not anything I've ever seen before. And I'm like, well, what is this? How do I label this? How do I describe this? I don't know. I just know it's hot. That's all I care about. And I also know that it comes from a space in me that is the teacher, that is on a mission to help other women learn and do what I've done and continue to learn and excel, myself and others. And so I'm just rolling with it. I love it. It's exciting. So I broke the rules just in my own organic creative vibe and groove. And when you read all my material, you'll get to see it. So that's tip number 4, break the rules in a good way, in a way that helps people, of course. But you know what? If you're submitting to a particular genre, publisher, agent, contest, and they have submission guidelines, you have to follow those. But I'm talking about, I'm writing something. I have my own publishing company with Catherine, so I can write whatever I want, however I want it. And I have that freedom. But again, if you have to follow specific submission guidelines, then do that. But if you don't, or maybe they offer the leeway to do what you want, like our new contest is check no boxes. If you go to our website under submissions to enter one of our contests, We have a contest called Check No Boxes because we want you to just write whatever you want. And the mission is your diverse voice needs to be heard, and we want to be your megaphone. So that's tip number 4 is break the rules. And I didn't set out to break the rules. It was just how this content evolved, emerged, came out of me. And I'm like, wow, this is awesome. I'm so excited about this because a lot of it is stuff that I need to hear myself. And every time I mention this type of content and my boss up goddess information and mission to other women, they're like, whoa, sign me up. That means I'm resonating. And that means when I present it the way I am, people are going to really be transformed. And that's the mission, is to help people boss up, be the goddess they're meant to be in mind, body, and spirit by living powerfully, fiercely, fearlessly, being a positive influence on the world. That's the mission. So, whatever your mission is with your writing, whether it's just a hobby or something you just love to do, or if you want to write the world's next biggest blockbuster, my 4 tips can help you. Retreat, draw, rest, and break the rules. All right. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, co creator of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing here on Writer Talks. Join me every Monday evening at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, where I interview the authors of our short stories, coming soon, or go solo to talk about one of my favorite subjects, writing. All right. Please do like, share, subscribe, comment. Got any questions about writing? I'd love to do a whole show about it for you. And please follow me on Twitter at Two Sisters, at the number 2 Sisters Writing, Twitter at the number 2 Sisters Writing, and then at Twitter at Elizabeth Atkins. And you can also find us on Facebook and check out the other shows here on our YouTube channel. Okay. All right. Thank you for watching. Please do a thumbs up on the video if you found some value in my 4 writing tips. Remember, retreat, draw, rest, and break the rules. All right. Thank you for watching. And remember, writing is amazing. So rev your writing with my 4 writing tips that I just shared on Writer